this is something that I've been really looking forward to. I love Cheryl. I think that we've become very good friends.
Yeah, we have.
And I consider
I'm going to say besties.
Besties, BFF.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, but in Nashville as a songwriter, as a musician, it's not always easy to find someone to aspire to. And I feel like I would like to be Sheryl Crow when I grow up. Not too far up, but
oh my gosh, I feel the same about you.
Good, thank you.
We were just making out backstage.
We were. So your songs, you connected with people all over the world, and got to a level there where, like a lot of your songs are just part of my DNA because I grew up listening to these songs intentionally and accidentally because they were everywhere. And I wonder, you being a songwriter for all these years and to such success, is there a method that you follow? If you knew right now that you needed to write a song, what would you do first?
Well, I think now for me, being my age, which is glorious and liberating, I write when I want. I write when I feel led. And the body of work we're actually getting ready to put out has really been my trying to figure things out. I know you can relate to that. But for me, as a kid, I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in a town that was in the middle of nowhere. I think we had 3 or 4 stoplights. Music for me was my way out. We played music on the Magnavox. I studied the album artwork and I knew who played on everything. And I envisioned myself doing what James Taylor was doing and what Carole King was doing. Then as you get older, you learn how to craft a song, if that's what you feel like your life's work is. And I think a lot of people can learn crafting, and I know that you can relate to this. There are those oddball songs that come along that you cannot figure out where they came from. You couldn't have dreamed writing it because it's so not what you do. And that's where I look and go, well, that's what inspiration is. There's no way to really define what that is. For me, that is my closest definition of what spirit is when the ego is out of the way and the spirit kicks in, or soul or whatever, and you're kind of given a song. And that doesn't happen very often. But for me, I sit down with a bass and I sing. And I have something I'm concerned with or I'm thinking about, and it just comes out as a song.
And that's super interesting to me because I feel like most people write with a guitar or a piano, but very often, like, you sit down and you write with a bass, and there's something about your chord changes where they sound like, and this is kind of nerdy, but it sounds like you're making a bigger...
I've always loved nerds.
It sounds like you're making a bigger jump than you are.
Okay, yeah,
like
that
a
makes
chord
sense.
will get a bridge will go from a B minor to a B flat major,
yeah,
and then you've got that tone pedaling on the D note.
Yeah,
that's something on a guitar you would complicate it more naturally.
And I everybody in this room has grown up listening to certain songs, right? So for me, I grew up listening to a lot of Burt Bacharach because that's what my parents listened to. I listened to a lot of the Beatles. Later on, when I was becoming like a cool teenager, I got into the Rolling Stones and I did some Joni Mitchell and Fleetwood Mac. A lot of what I wanted to do was so melody driven, but if I could sit down with a guitar or at the piano, which is my main instrument, I would get into my head with, well, this chord goes well with that. And this goes, major, minor, like the Beatles. And then you forget you're writing the melody, which for me, the melody is the journey. You write the screenplay, which are the words, and the melody is the cinematography. And if I'm figuring out what chords I know on the piano and what I'm comfortable playing, then it becomes about the chords and less about the melody. And so at a certain point, I kind of gave up doing the same thing over and over. And I decided, you know what? I'm just going to write. And write based on the melody as opposed to all the cool chords I know and what sounds best coming out of that one.
Yeah, I love it.
I know that sounds very analytical, but...
No, but it is. Like, after you do it that many times, you start analyzing it just by nature. But I don't know, there's something about your songs, they sound more complicated than they are. And I love that. That's
It's
a
because
Beatle
I'm
trick.
extremely cerebral.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you moonwalk. You can't lie to me.
I can moonwalk, baby.
Cheryl can moonwalk better than anybody alive. Okay, well, you want to play one? You want to play? You want to play Every Day Is a Winding Road?
Let's do.
You want to do it?